We have reached day 37 of the government shutdown, the longest shutdown in the U.S. history, and its impact continues to be felt nationwide. The FAA has announced that starting tomorrow, they're reducing air traffic at 40 major airports. Here's Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy and FAA union rep sounding the alarm. Take a look.
They've all told me it's really hard to navigate a full month of no pay, missing 2 pay periods. So I think you're going to have more significant disruptions in the airspace. And as we come into Thanksgiving, if we're still in the shutdown posture, it's going to be rough out there, really rough. And we'll mitigate the safety side, but will you fly on time? Will your flight actually go? That is yet to be seen.
You were already short-staffed.
Correct.
And how much worse has the shutdown made it?
It's exponentially made it worse. We're exhausted now.
And how much does that compromise air safety?
Every day, it goes up. That compromise goes up every single day.
I want to remind everybody that the strain on the FAA was made worse earlier this year when DOJ fired essential FAA workers, such as aviation safety professionals. You know, the firings added stress to the already stressed FAA. They've had a shortage of controllers. Since before the shutdown, there were 3,000 vacancies. Now, the FAA has reported that now that half of the 30 busiest airports in the U.S. are expecting shortages, that we should all be concerned. So, are y'all concerned?
I am. All my friends are talking about this. My husband and I are planning to travel for Thanksgiving, and we decided if this isn't resolved, I'm pregnant, we're being overly cautious, we're just not going to do air travel this year. And think about this. So most of where the cuts are likely going to come is going to be the major airports that we think of: Chicago, O'Hare, Washington, D.C.,
Atlanta,
Newark. In Chicago, O'Hare alone, a 10% cut to a major hub there could mean 121 fewer flights a day, or in other words, 14,000 fewer seats a day. And today I heard the Frontier Airlines CEO say if you're planning to travel, book a backup ticket because your flight might get canceled. But who has the money and also the time off to plan for something like that? It's terrible. And finally, the economic impact this is going to have. The holidays are a time of travel. Seasonal employment goes up. It's a huge economic boon all over the country. And if people are staying home because they don't feel safe, we're going to feel that in the economy, and we're going to see it in fewer jobs.
So let's reiterate for a second, because I'm not really clear what's going on for me. So there's a shutdown because the Republicans don't want to give extended Obamacare, right? It's about
the subsidies for Obama.
They don't want to do that.
Included in the seat.
Their ultimate reason, though, is that because they want to get rid of Obamacare altogether, even though they don't have a plan. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene said that, right?
Right.
So, and that will give them money to give tax cuts to people who already have a lot of money.
Well, those have been signed into law.
Right?
So
because of all that, people's safety in the air is now compromised.
Correct.
Okay, let's be clear what they're trying to do. And they're also trying to blame it all on Democrats. But an NBC poll says 52% blame the Republicans. They do not blame the Democrats for this. The Democrats want you to have safety in the air and your health care. And the other side does not want you to have your health care. That's basically what it boils down to.
I respectfully disagree.
You should not, I never give speeches. You should not put up with this. We are all going places in the air. This girl can't fly. Why? She's got to go someplace. I don't know where it is. Where are you going?
She's going to go to Florida. I do have to disagree, though, because you can reopen and fund the government and then vote on Obamacare.
But they won't. But you know, practically, they're
not going to pass. Ask for the promise then, and then to Sarah's point that she's made a number of times, if everyone gets together, votes to reopen the government, fully staff and pay the FAA, keep our airlines open so people can travel ahead of the holidays, make sure people get SNAP benefits, then Republicans should put that vote.
People don't trust the Republicans.
But if they don't, then you run in the midterms and say they lied to you.
But the issue is health care is a human right. This is not a political.
You got to open the government to vote on.
No, it's not. So why don't you open up the Republican Party should open up the government, and the first thing they should do is make sure that those subsidies, Obamacare, get extended. Then they can do whatever they want. But give us our health care because we deserve it. It's a human right. And the only reason that they don't want to extend those subsidies is because President Trump is such a thin-skinned, small man that he cannot let President Obama have a win. He wants to gut President Obama's legacy. It's all about jealousy and resentment, and it is so very tiny and small of him.
What Whoopi was speaking about is actually a more important thing that this is highlighting. With the shutdown right now, air traffic control has been under siege with a shortage for a long time. And I deep dove into the training because we talk about how there aren't enough jobs, but a lot of people that need them. So why not here? This is such a highly trained position that by the time they get qualified through the screening tests, are assessed by security and medical and get through the burnout rate, only 9% of applicants go into this. And when you start out, and for many years to come, you work weekends, nights, and holidays. And in the beginning, they pay you, which I think public teachers aren't paid enough, but like a public teaching salary, when you're working 6 days a week, at least once a month, if not multiple shifts, the fatigue factor is greater than any other profession.
Sarah? What's the salary?
So eventually they can get up to $170,000 and bonuses because they work 400 to 500 on average overtime. These are people that I don't want extending themselves to those levels to be in charge of air traffic control. And why is Congress being paid, but these people aren't?
Correct.
They have our safety every day.
And keep in mind, you know, when Doge did the original cuts, they said, oh, we didn't cut any air traffic controllers, but you cut the people around them, which means they had to work 10 times harder to try to do this.
Stay awake. They have to stay awake.
It not only stay awake, but they have to be on top of stuff. There are so many things that are not making sense that I don't get it. And I keep thinking, well, if you want to recapture, because I listened to all the Republicans seem very upset yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, if you want to recapture, you told us we have to listen. You need to listen to what the people are telling you.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
So with all of these delays that are going on, and people like Alyssa and others that I know want to fly during Thanksgiving, if you cancel your flight, are you penalized for that? The airlines should not penalize you
since
for
the
that.
pandemic, a lot of airlines have forgiveness for using that. It's not as stringent as it once was, and it hasn't bounced back.
Well, that's good.
And
Make
listen,
sure you-
everyone should make their own decision. I think it's a risk assessment. You just have to talk about what's best for your family. There are safe flights taking off every day. Just because I'm overly cautious right now, that's what I'm
Well,
gonna
the holiday
do.
travel is already delayed supremely.
Yeah,
now add a shutdown and a
All right,
shortage.
that's the real
Maybe
part. I'm
just
not sitting
make
my
a
pregnant
turkey at
self in
home.
an airport waiting.
Call your congressman. Get them off their behinds.
Well, get them at least to answer the phone.
Or leave a message.
Leave them a message and don't be sweet.